All right, as we go through, we are going to pick up where we left off yesterday. We had started labeling a couple of the parts of the cells. You are on page 226 again. Okay, so we're looking at those pictures and we're going to be working on labeling the cell. Now, some of you have gone through and I've seen that you have labeled the cell, so we need to check it carefully. Okay, we've already got the nucleus and the chromosomes labeled. Okay, so we've already got that labeled. Let's continue with number 2. All right, looking at number 2 up there, let me just point out a little thing to you if I take my highlighter here. Okay, number 2 is focused on this outside part of that circle. So if it's focused on that outside part of the circle, what part do you think that is, Timothy?
Nuclear membrane.
The nuclear membrane, very good. So go ahead and label that. Okay. All right, let's take a look at number 1. We'll work our way backwards here. All right, so we're looking at number 1. 1's pointing to the outside part of the cell. Okay. It's letting things in and out of the cell. So if it's letting things in and out of the cell, what would that be, Stephen? It would be the cell membrane. Very good. Okay. All right, any thoughts on number 5? Okay, 5 is pointing to the surrounding parts around those membrane structures. Okay, it's what's filling the cell. Emily, what do you think?
Cytoplasm.
Cytoplasm, very good. All right, then we've got number 6 and number 7. Okay. All right, number 6. Number 6 is releasing the food. Number 6 is releasing the food to the cell. Kaylee, what would that be?
Mitochondria.
The mitochondria. So if 6 is releasing the food, 7 is releasing the chemicals. So if 7 is releasing the chemicals, then what is 7, Michael?
Golgi body.
Thank you. The Golgi bodies. Okay. All right, any questions on the animal cell? Okay, where's the nucleolus? If we were to make a label for the nucleolus, where would that be, Stephen?
Inside the nucleus.
Okay, it would be inside the nucleus. Okay, what about DNA? Where would DNA be if we were to label that? Where would the DNA be located, Addie? It would be located with the chromosomes, which are in the nucleus. Good. Okay, all right, we're ready for our next cell. Our next cell is the plant cell, so go ahead and make sure you've got it labeled. I noticed that some of you already did, which is good. All right. Oh, it cleared it off, didn't it? No. I would have noticed once, actually. All right. Now, it's still the animal cell, isn't it? All right, there we go. Now we've got a plant cell. It's about learning a new program, I guess. All right, so we've got our plant cell. All right, so looking at page 226, looking at our animal cell, because do animal cells and plant cells have things that are in common? Yes. Okay. So we do have some similarities between the two. Let's take a look at our pictures in our book and let's see what we can figure out. Any thoughts? Okay, any thoughts? Chris, why don't you start us off? 14. Is this 14? I don't have my number up here. Is that 14? Okay. 14. Why do you say it's a vacuole, Chris? Because it's big. Fair enough. What's a vacuole used for?
Storing stuff.
It is used for storing stuff. So, yes, it needs to be big. So, yes, 14 is the vacuole. Any other thoughts as you look? Okay. Timothy, what do you got?
That 15 is Golgi bodies.
Okay. 15 is the Golgi bodies. Why did you figure that out, or how did you figure that out?
Because it's kind of similar shape to the animal cell, which is, they kind of look the same, so I kind of figured that.
Good. Timothy looked at the animal cell and saw they were similar. Remember, the Golgi body is releasing the chemicals to the cell. What do you got for me, Kaylee?
13 would be chloroplast.
Why chloroplast?
And it says green underneath it.
Gives you a clue. What makes the chloroplast green? What makes the chloroplast green, Tyler?
Chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll. Good. Okay. What happens in the chloroplast? What happens in the chloroplast? Mason. Photosynthesis. Awesome. Good. You guys are on a roll today. All right. Steven, what do you got next? 16. Ooh. Let's take a look at 16. All right. Look at it. How many of you think it's the cell membrane? Okay. I got some of you. How many of you think it's something else? All right. What do you think, Briley? Cell wall. Now, Stephen, I don't blame you one bit for thinking about that, and I'll tell you why. If we look at it real closely, and I'm going to draw it here, and I'm labeling it wrong because I'm thinking cell membrane right now. All right, so we'll label it the cell wall. Okay, so as we look at it, you'll notice on 16, it's pointing to that outside part. Okay, so because it's pointing to that outside part, the cell wall gives some extra support. So I'm going to tell you that cell membrane is somewhere in there. Okay, let's look at 11. So what makes 11 the cell membrane? Because it's the inside part. Okay. I'm going to run out of space here. All right. Other thoughts? Faith, what do you got? Number 12 is mitochondria. How'd you figure that out? Good. It is rod-shaped. What does the mitochondria do? Passes out. Okay, energy through their food. Good. All right, Kaylee.
Number 9 is the
Ooh, this one's tough. It's hard to see with your lines.
number 10 is the nucleus.
Okay, number 10 is the nucleus. Okay, if you look at number 9, it's pointing to those different segments in there. So if it's pointing to those different segments, then what is it, Michael? It's the chromosomes. All right, so we've got number 8 left. Number 8's pointing to that outside part. What's that outside part, Cameron? We've already labeled the nucleus. 10 is the nucleus, so 8 is that outside part. Think not the nucleolus is within the inside there. Okay, what lets things in and out of the nucleus? The nuclear membrane lets things in and out. Okay. All right. How you guys feeling about the types of cells? Good, kind of hard. Okay. It's important that we recognize the role, but we're going to make the transition now, and we're going to start talking and focusing on this center part. Okay, we're going to start talking about cell division, and cell division's focus. Okay, cell division's focus is on the center part, this nucleus. Okay, so we're going to kind of focus even closer into that smaller part of the cell. And we're going to focus on what's happening within that nucleus, okay? So what I need you to do is let's go ahead and we're going to put these notes in our notes section. Okay. I want you to have two things on your desk. I'm going to give you your mitosis notes. Okay? And with your mitosis notes, I want you to also have a piece of notebook paper.